I don't want to hear anything more about the Epstein death until the videos are released, until the files are released. When you look at the Epstein records, we still don't have the Epstein records. Judicial Watch had to sue for the records earlier this year, and the reason we asked for and sued for the records was because, again, there was a promise to release the records. There was an initial release that the administration admits was probably not the most optimum process. It turned out, according to what they said initially, that there was a obstructive effort by the FBI. And Attorney General Bondi famously highlighted how she had records, these Epstein records on her desk, and they were ready to go. And ironically, part of our FOIA lawsuit that we filed was, tell us about that whole mess there. And they said, well, there are no records from the Attorney General about that issue. So I mean, what is going on, huh? What is going on? Now, the FBI Director Cash and the Deputy Director Dan Bongino have been out there talking about the Epstein documents, saying they're working on releasing them. They both said they looked at the file, and there's no evidence that there was a suicide, or there was anything other than a suicide. In fact, Dan was on... He was on Fox and Friends earlier this week, and he made this comment about the Epstein files and the video, specifically about his controversial death. Let's go to number 23.
Those two cases obviously are of significant public interest. I'm just telling you what we see in the file. I just want to be crystal clear on this. I am not asking anyone to believe me. I'm telling you what's there and what isn't.
Right.
There is nothing in the file at this point on the Epstein case, and there's going to be a disclosure on this coming shortly. We are working through there is video. That is something the public does not.
There's video of him killing himself.
No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC Bay, there was only one camera. There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release, that's what's taken a while on this. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans. You're going to see there's no one there but him.
Right.
There's just nobody there. So I say to people all the time, if you have a tip, let us know. But there's no DNA, there's no audio, there's no fingerprints, there's no suspects, there's no accomplices, there's no tips, there is nothing. If you have it, I'm happy to see it. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
So I don't know what's that all about. Why can't we just get the tape released? What's the state secret? They need to clean it up? Well, release the original and then clean it up later. I don't understand the interest in characterizing what's in the material. Material presented to him by the previous FBI. Remember, the family for Epstein's brother, I think it was his brother, hired a phenomenal expert, Michael Baden, who, one of the most famous medical examiners in the nation. He concluded that it was a homicide. That is, the forensic analysis was inconsistent with a suicide. And I appreciate his analysis, but I want to see the records. I mean, this is my frustration. This is now this week 3 or 2 of both Dan and Cash talking about the Epstein files we don't have yet. Now, Judicial Watch asked for all the Epstein records. But we didn't just want the client lists. We didn't want, the secret lists of people who might have been involved in the trafficking. The records include his death. Give us the records about his death, too. That's all the records. When we want all the records, we want all the records. Now, they say they're going to be released soon. Are they going to be released under FOIA? If they're not going to be released under FOIA, they're going to be back under scrutiny again, because when they're released in a leak or through a leak, you don't know what's being withheld. So I'd recommend that they release the material as quickly as possible through the FOIA process so that Americans can be sure, because it's a court process at this point, right? So Americans can be reassured that it's at least all the material they have, and there's a requirement they tell the American people if they're withholding material, and if so, for what purpose. And they keep on talking about the process without releasing the records. I don't understand it. I guess I do understand it. Because the leadership of the FBI, you go in, you're gung-ho. I know Dan and Cash personally. And I'm sure they wanted to do, but what happens is you go in there and you have all these deep staters around you saying, oh, sir, I know you want to release this, but listen to all the reasons we can't release it quickly. And if you do, you're going to get sued. If you do, they're going to come after you. And what they try to do is create bureaucratic roadblocks, make up legal reasons. No, excuse me, not reasons, but excuses to not disclose the material quickly. I'm not saying follow FOIA and that should be a reason and an excuse to slow it down. I'm saying follow FOIA, err on the side of disclosure, don't cite the exemptions you usually do if you're a deep stater to keep information from the American people, and start pushing it out. So I don't want to hear anything more about the Epstein death until the videos are released, until the files are released. And it's good that he's characterizing it, but with all due respect, I don't trust the FBI. And his characterization of material that no one else has been able to see in the public, we have to verify. Trust but verify. That's the most charitable way of putting it. The least charitable way of putting it is, Dan, don't trust your lying eyes when it comes to looking at records produced to you by the corrupted FBI. Curated material. I don't know what he's looking at. Is that the quote, the file? What else is there? Where did you get this material from? Was there a comprehensive search done within the agency? I mean, we have enough experience with the FBI to know if you ask the wrong question or direct it at the wrong official, or they may decide to search a particular set of records and ignore another set of records, you won't get what you think you're getting in terms of a comprehensive response. Now, I'm sure, Dan and Cash are going to be mad at me again for saying what I'm saying here, but I'm just trying to make their lives easier, right? By telling them what they need to do to be transparent. What's the process? And how they should evaluate the advice I'm sure they're getting as to why it's taking longer than the American people want. And we want the transparency. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.